There is a mammoth member of the local fauna to the right. It looks to be in need of constant nourishment, hence the look being cast at you. The encroaching darkness chokes off all light around you.
Could you possibly make that statement sound more ominous?
Maybe. That was just off the top of my head. How about this? The icy grip of darkness wraps you in an unyielding embrace, cutting you off from the light of safety. That better?
I suddenly have a need for my security blanket.
Really? Do you really have a security blanket? Or are you just trying to make me feel better?
I do, just a little one.
You don't need to use the gem at the moment. You don't need to.
Ow!
Gnash! Growl! Crunch! Snap! You have just been felled by a killer cave beaver. You now know the meaning of excruciating when used in reference to level of pain. You take out the gem and hold it in your palm. The room is illuminated by its glow. You hear a small shriek and the sound of many footsteps moving away from you. The ground below your feet disappears. You tumble down through the darkness. That was a rather spectacular entrance. All systems seem to be intact, though. The dwellers mumble something. Your translator responds.
Follow us, Beanpole.
You don't need to feel it to notice that it thins out as it gets further south. You don't. This hideaway. You notice. You don't. Got it. The rocks strewn across this area from a natural barrier to the north. This
Welcome to our canyon. You look to be from out of town. On behalf of all of us, I would like to thank you for saving our compadre from the hunters. You are welcome to stay in the canyon as long as you like. When you are ready to leave, simply say the word and my assistants will show you the only way out for a being of your size. When you leave, however, we must seal the exit behind you for our own protection. Goodbye, and good luck.
The small pink dude is standing by the large rock.
Now, what was that word?
Gameplay note. You'll need to type the password into the translator. Enter will close the translator. The little pink dudes just stare at you with their big buck-tooth smiles. Perhaps you need to be more specific.
Now, what was that word?
Gameplay note. You'll need to type the password into the translator. Enter will close the translator. The little pink dude.
Now, what was that word?
Gameplay note. You'll need to type the password into the translator. Enter will close the translator. The little pink dudes.
Now, what was that word?
Gameplay note. You'll need to type the password into the translator. Enter will close the translator. The little pink.
Now,
Game. The little pink.
now,
Gameplay.
the word.
You realize that the little pink dudes weren't kidding around. It's very dark and cramped in here. Showing some thought far beyond your normal mental prowess, you put the glowing gem into your mouth. Ah, better. Not a great deal better, but better. Good thing you found that gem. Not only does it light your way, but it should come in handy in a later game. The sticky substance gets on your head. The sticky...
Any horrible creatures?
No response. You have an opportunity to stand and spare your tender knees. The crystal clear water gives off a gentle glow. In abundance, it is able to light the room. You take the glowing gem from between your aching jaws. You notice it is overly moist as you slip it into your pocket. Splat! After caroming off a pair of rock outcroppings, you find a final resting place at the base of the falls. As you enter another of the mysterious subterranean chambers, you realize that the water is now racing toward a giant whirlpool in the middle of the area. You are caught in the strong current, powerless to alter your course. Your body is sucked down until finally you are able to resist no more and must yield to the overwhelming force. Geez, that was quite a trip. Peering around, you find yourself back in the open again. You notice some writing on one of the leftmost boulders. The writing says, "Beware, Labian Terra Beast Zone, use extreme caution."
Any tiny alien bugs that know how to talk and can tell me a way out of this mess?
No response. Nice try, though. I can tell you're stumped, but all I'm authorized to let you know is that A, doing that doesn't help, and B, smashing your computer won't help either. You give the whistle a toot. It makes an odd sound. You hear an incredible whirring and grinding sound coming from the north. Suddenly, a Labian terror beast buzzes into the room like a tornado. He looks like he could do as much damage. Well, ain't that a hoot? The guy reduced you to a multicolored mound of coleslaw-like matter. Better than a Murpho-slice-o-matic. You are dead, however. You notice some writing on one of the leftmost boulders. The writing says, "Beware, Labian Terra Beast Zone, use extreme caution." You notice the writing. Stumped again, hey? Not. You give the whistle a toot. It makes an odd sound. You hear an incredible whirring and grinding sound coming from the north. Suddenly, a Labian terror beast buzzes into the room like a tornado. He looks like he could do as much damage. You chuck the Kubik's Rube puzzle over to the beast. The beast appears interested in your offering. Curiosity gets the better of him and he reaches down for it. He seems quite perplexed by the puzzling plastic polyhedron. You pick up a small rock generated during the Terror Beast's grand entrance. You slide the keycard into the slot, then remove it. As soon as the elevator door closes behind you, the platform on which you rest begins to rise. You're so clever, Roger. You created a slingshot. Oh, you found an archaic solution to... You wish that was a good idea. Spock would say fasten... Stumped again.